Howdy everyone, y'all knows me Voltage, and well, I'm gonna be reacting to some more Death Arena, and you may be like, why are you halfway through the video already? And the reason why is because this is actually a really long video, and I have one video already backlogged, and I want to make sure that I actually make this video in good quality, so I'm gonna be recording the part that I really don't know about, the character I don't know about, and that's REIMU from the Touhou, because I don't really know anything about those, but JOTARO, I know quite a lot about him. So I'd rather learn something about a character that I don't know much about, rather than learn a lot about a character that I already know about. So yeah, that's why I'm starting 8 minutes in. So I'd rather get information on a character I don't know much about.
Entities, demons, vampires, forgotten gods, and many other dangerous entities. In this world there also exists poisonous forests, corpse-powered nuclear generators, multiple
Marissa Kirasama, I know quite a bit about her because she's a reality warper and a strong one of that.
Boundless space, worlds that shouldn't even exist. It's probably one of the most chaotic places you will ever visit. Yet here there exists some humans and yokai not hell-bent on causing chaos. Some are keepers of the fabric of duality and boundaries. Others are vampires.
So I'm gonna guess Ryumi is one of those kind of people.
Witches, and the primary focus of this episode, the Shrine Keeper REIMU. Now there isn't much of a known backstory to her, with all that we know is the ambiguity of her parents' existence. What we do know is that REIMU is a rather young maiden that keeps her shine intact, along with being the one to keep balance between worlds.
That
exterminating any
sounds kind of broken.
That balance. REIMU appears to be akin to a Japanese priest that practices in the religion of Shintoism, a polytheistic belief that is exclusive to Japan.
I don't know what game this is, but it looks interesting a little bit, honestly.
Religion, and unlike most, the gods they worship manifest here, powered by the belief of their worshippers. This is important to know since REIMU's primary job is to keep the
You're literally using a video on YouTube for this thing. I love
so she would have to find a solution to this issue, or else very few will visit her shrine and doom her along with her god. The Hakure god wanting to aid had Misumaru.
Apparently not a lot of number this girl, because she's only 20, at least age 20.
With this, REIMU was able to do exactly what was intended, in spite of her laziness. This tool takes the form of yin-yang orbs, a devastating weapon capable of destroying anything it touches regardless of its material, both body and soul.
Oh.
Its homing properties are indestructible, can act as shields, and even grant wishes by turning into a fairy. She also has a goe, a stick used to shoot hundreds if not thousands of projectiles to overwhelm you, or just bonk you in the head if necessary. She also has purification needles hidden in her sleeves which quell and purify evil yokai and other spirits.
Oh!
And yutas which are paper charms to aid her job in exterminating problem yokai.
Flight, Danmaku, Spirit Fish, Intimidation, Accusation, Power Modification, Soul Manipulation, Conceptual Manipulation, Time Manipulation, Fate Manipulation, Dimensional Travel, and Pain Manipulation.
Now, like other characters in this world, she possesses the ability to use Danmaku, which allows her to shoot omnidirectional projectiles.
Sorry about that. Mom and Dad are going to eat for lunch.
Some even homing their targets and unleashing a barrage that can be almost impossible to avoid. Some of these attacks can be unleashed with spell cards and skill cards. Magically defined attacks.
So these characters are kind of nuts, apparently.
Some names for these spell cards are Divine Arts. Omnidirectional Demon Binding Circle allows REIMU to remove all restrictions with directional movement. Divine Arts, Sky Conquering Wind God Kick, which is a string of repeated ascension kicks. It sets up quickly, so there's lots of ways to use it.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know the information on all this stuff, honestly.
Multiple giant, explosive, homing, orbs of pure divine energy that can completely clear an area.
All I know is that she's broken, but it sounds.
Mysterious Shrine Maiden is a desperation spell card REIMU only uses when she's unconscious, which has REIMU fires omnidirectional Danmaku in a beautiful pattern that is incredibly devastating and lethal. Holy Relic, Yin-Yang Demon God Orb, allows REIMU to create a giant yin-yang orb made from spiritual energy, and innate dream which lets REIMU float out of reality itself, an ability we will come back to later. With her skill cards also having unique names and properties like Instant Dimensional Rift, which lets REIMU instantly teleports and strikes her opponent at various angles.
She's apparently skilled combat by looks of this game right here. These games looks kind of fun, honestly.
Shot, which are slow-moving yin-yang orb that bounces off surfaces, and Demon Sealing Dimensional Rift, which is basically a massive needle barrage, and these are only a few of the many cards she has, to which there are nearly 100 of all with unique properties and abilities.
I I'm not being honest. I don't know really who the fuck to because these characters both these characters just sound overpowered, but I know Jotaro is also overpowered as hell.
And other beings. Summon literal gods and channel their power within her body. Create gaps in reality and alter space-time. Reactively adapt during battle. Amplify her power and debuff others. Manipulate the concept of states and beings. See into the future. Manipulate probability and fate. And many more powers. Arguably her most powerful ability is fantasy nature, which is also known as innate domain, an ability that allows her to exit out of the entirety of existence and attack outside of it, making it impossible to touch her if you don't have the means of reaching her.
What?
Basically her ability to also manipulate the very concept of boundaries. She isn't just a maiden with a bunch of powers. Despite rarely training, she is often sparring with the witch Marisa, taking on yokais and problematic gods, fighting vampires, and all sorts of demons. She fought and beat Megumu Izunameru, whose primary ability is to manipulate stars, Suka Ibuki, who could shatter heaven, which is similar in size to Hell and Endless Realm, Toyo Zatamimi no Maiko, who created Senkai, an infinitely expanding world containing other endless worlds, and even Kagaya Aorai-san, who created the infinite corridor connected to Ate, which was made by infinitely linking gaps in space-time together. To put it short, these are infinites stacking upon infinites infinitely. With all these fights, she has shown to dodge barrages of Danmaku attacks. In these fights she has faced other characters who have reacted to and used light-based attacks such as Marisa Kirasame and Yukari Yakumo respectively. She can travel from the lunar capital to the Sea of Tranquility in a few hours, which are on opposite sides of the moon, scales above common moon rabbits. They've used the dream world as a common passageway that contained interstellar distances, moved in realms absent of time itself or exist outside on linear space-time, and showcases several instances of traveling infinite distances and crossing them, such as when she flew to the end of Kagaya's corridor, which is composed of infinitely linked pieces of the space-time continuum and is repeatedly stated to be infinite and endless. Now, despite this insane showcase of powers, she isn't lacking weaknesses. REIMU is rather lazy in nature. She isn't one to dive head first into conflict and rather would avoid it or find an easy way out.
Okay, so she has a weakness.
Often and rarely trains. Despite how smart and tactical she is, she can be really simple-minded, not thinking things through, although the nature of her floating ability also makes this an advantage. REIMU, when she is going with the flow, is capable of accomplishing truly remarkable feats. Her abilities are at their best when she is not thinking too hard, elsewise she will fumble if she thinks too hard, so her simple-mindedness acts more like a double-edged sword, greatly enhancing her capabilities and letting her float ability defy logic, manipulate fate, and be more powerful while sacrificing true battle strategies. She also hasn't mastered all of her abilities, like the ability to summon gods, and due to spell card rules, REIMU's spell cards have a time limit as to how much she can use them. Yet there is a reason why she was chosen to be a maiden for her shine. She has her quirks, but with her record of solving a handful of problematic instances, exterminating hundreds of yokai, and is even commended for her skills by everyone, being considered to be one of the best, she has every reason to deserve her role. So maybe consider praying to her god. Maybe one day you'll be in the presence of her blessing. Overall, REIMU is capable of warping reality on a humongous scale, as well as manipulating the concept of boundaries. While her abilities are incredible, she is still quite stubborn, lacks training, and has a limit on her spell cards.
Hi!
Alright,
This is
let's
gonna
get ready
be.
for combat.
This is. The planet's not gonna be alive at the end of this fight, I can guarantee that. There's gonna be no planet when this is done.
It's time to see who will survive in the arena of death.
My money's on Gabriel Moose as the animator. Oh god, this is gonna be a great animation then. I know Gabriel pretty well, and he's a great animator on skill wise. The human, this is 14 times Wednesday. Hey, you, where the hell am I? What kind of spirit is that? Is he even human? He might be a stand user. I'm not going anywhere with you. Hmm. Come on, Ryumi. She's getting her ass kicked right now. Dude, you're getting beaten by a little girl. What? The
As much as it pains me to make this horrid pun, that fight really was bizarre. Now unfortunately this fight isn't exactly fairly balanced. Both without using their extremely crazy high ends, REIMU simply overpowers and outspeeds Jotaro in every aspect. Jotaro's only hope is to use his limited time stop under extremely niche circumstances, yet REIMU not only is already familiar with operating in realms that either have a different flow of space-time or even exist outside of space-time, but she can outright resist time manipulation to the point where she becomes immune to it. REIMU has fought Sakia as Aoi's several times, and even though the first few times the time stop has worked, REIMU with her ability to reactively evolve throughout the course of a battle allowed to resist her time stop abilities to the point where it didn't even affect her. Sakia's time stop is also far superior to base Star Platinum's time stop, so REIMU would have almost trouble dealing with him. This alongside the fact Jotaro had no means of hurting or even touching REIMU, and REIMU having the ability to see Star Platinum due to her being the literal boundary between spirits and the real world, it makes this fight feel more one-sided. Yet when we include over heaven and fantasy nature, Jotaro gets a total of 1 win can by sheer chance. Yikes. You see, over heaven's ability in theory should be able to outright destroy REIMU, despite some aspects of over heaven REIMU can negate. If used correctly, over heaven can bypass whatever protections REIMU has, and negate whatever REIMU can throw at Jotaro by simply rewriting it to however he pleases. Realistically, if one punch can mean outright erasing REIMU from existence, then Jotaro can do that, especially since at this point over heaven along with Jotaro should scale to Golden Experience Requiem and Heaven Ascension DIO in terms of speed, which would grant infinite speed. Although there lies a huge
Next is a
problem,
Ganondorf
over
versus
heaven's
someone I'm
powers
pretty
only
sure if I
work
remember
when Star
right.
Platinum's fists makes contact with the entity it
Which
wants to
seeing
change.
Ganondorf back,
So while in some cases he can punch
I'm happy to
spheres,
see Ganon fight
objects,
again.
projectiles, certain powers with a physical form, and other unconventional physical entities, over heaven would need to tag REIMU to do anything significant. Base REIMU already
A
can
lot
hold her own to an
stronger,
extent,
powerful, more
one
durable,
factor in
and faster,
fantasy's
smarter,
nature
more
allowing
experienced,
her to
superior
literally
arsenal and
exit out of
variety.
reality. Yeah, there is no chance Jotaro is touching her, even with fantasy nature's limits. Jotaro, despite trying his best, didn't stand a chance. The winner is REIMU Hakure.
Next time, season finale. Versus the Lord of the Rings. I remember. I know it's a Lord of the Rings character versus Ganondorf. Oh, that guy looks intimidating. One king to rule them all. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Bye bye.